Hello and welcome to Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC and your daily reminder that the Reds are Premier League champions. And plans are starting to take shape for next season. Obviously, we know Jeremy Frimpong is in. We know that Kirkes and Wirtz look like they'll just be a matter of time. But also some outgoings are now starting to pop up. So it looks like Vítězslav Jaros will be loaned out this season. And there are strong links to Ajax. Obviously, Johnny Heitinga is the new Ajax manager, so therefore knows Jaros, having spent a year with them at Liverpool, and apparently wants to bring him in to be his new number one. I think that's actually a brilliant loan for Jaros. It's a big club, high-pressure games, big stadium, big crowd, big fan base. So while he's done really well on previous loans, they have been at, smaller levels. Obviously, his first loan, St. Pat's Athletic in Dublin, it's an okay standard, but the crowd is, a couple of thousand per game. Then from there, he comes back to Liverpool with the intention of going straight back out, and it's to Notts County. A decent-sized club, but again, not huge crowds, and you're playing at a lower level. Stockport, again, the same. He does well on those loans. Then he goes to Sturm Graz for half a season, and he does really, really well, and he wins the double with them. But again, with Sturm Graz, while they are a big club in Austria, their stadium holds about 16,500 people. At Ajax, they're expected to win every year. That's the standard there. Any season where they don't win the league is seen as a failure. The fan base is incredibly demanding. The stadium holds 55,000 and is packed most weeks. Historically, they're one of the biggest clubs in the world. 36 league titles, 20 Dutch Cups, 4 European Cups, a Europa League, a Cup Winners' Cup, 2 UEFA Super Cups, and 2 of the Intercontinental Cup, which is the precursor for the World Club Cup. This is a club with history to match anybody. So going there is a huge step up for Heitinga. For Heitinga, for Jaros, I should say. And it will mean more pressure, bigger responsibility, and I think that would really suit him. I think that's what he needs right now to kick on and develop. He'll turn 24 in July, and if he goes to Ajax and does really well, it could lead to two things. Number one, it could lead to him becoming first choice for the Czech national team, which is a stated goal of his. When we look at the Czech squad, none of the goalkeepers that are in the squad right now are any better than him. Kinski, who's at Spurs, has been in the squad but didn't make the most recent squad. He would be the biggest competition to Jaros to establish himself as the number one. But if he can establish himself as one of the top two, I think that'd be really good for him. But the other thing is, if he's playing at Ajax and he's playing well, he could absolutely be looking at a situation where a big money offer lands on the table next season, because remember, they're in the Champions League. So if he's playing regularly in the Champions League for Ajax, be a lot of eyes on him, and potentially what might have been a 6, 7, 8 million pound sale next summer, if we decide to move him on, could be a 20, 25 million pound sale if he does really well. And it might be a thing where it just takes the decision out of our hands. Because if he goes there and does well, he's not going to want to come back to Liverpool and be a backup. He's going to want to go somewhere he can start week in and week out. So potentially this is a great pathway for us to get a big fee if he does well there. What's Ajax's current goalkeeping situation? Jay Gorter, Mateus, Remco Pasveer, They're the three goalkeepers who were in the squad this past season. Jay Gorter spent some time on loan at Aberdeen. Didn't play a single game last season. 16 games for Ajax in 4 years. Doesn't appear likely that he has been sort of greenlit for a path to a starting role. Mateus is 33, and he was on loan there this season and played 9 games. So he's due to go back to Braga. Whether or not he stays there, who knows. And then Remco Pasveer is 41 years of age. He's 41. So you'd fancy that the goalkeeping spot is wide open there if Yaros goes there and performs well. He should become, or he should be able to become, the number one. Then we have the Darwin Nunez situation. So Al Hilal had made Victor Osimhen their primary target. He's decided he doesn't want to go there. He's decided he wants to stay in Europe, apparently. From him, they went to Victor Gyökeres. He turned them down because he doesn't want to go to Saudi either. And apparently, third on their list is Darwin Nunez. Now, in January, Darwin agreed to go to Saudi. So, pretty easy to see then that personal terms shouldn't be a problem. The window closes tomorrow at 7 p.m. British Standard Time. Now, it obviously reopens again in a few days, but this specific window was created for the Club World Cup. So for any player who clubs want to be involved in the Club World Cup, it has to be signed, sealed by 7 p.m. British Standard Time tomorrow. That does leave more than enough time. Al Hilal will now be a little bit desperate to get a striker in, you'd imagine. And therefore, they might be prepared to overpay a little bit, or certainly pay the asking price. Now, what the asking price on Darwin would be, I'm not 100% sure. My guess would be somewhere in the region of 70 to 75. I know we were supposedly holding out for 85 in January, but I think his value's probably collapsed a bit since then. So if we could get 75 for him, I don't think there'll be any issues. And people will say, oh, well, is there time to do a medical? Probably not, but maybe they don't care. Maybe they trust us to do a medical on the player, or trust his national team to do a medical on the player, or whatever the situation might be. Maybe they just roll with it. Like, Chelsea didn't do a comprehensive medical on Torres when they signed him from us. Certain clubs don't do it if they don't care. Maybe they won't care. Maybe they'll just be so desperate to have him in the door for this Club World Cup that they'll just say, okay, well, we'll just gamble, and if he has an issue, we'll deal with it. We would have medical files to give them from when we signed him 3 years ago. He hasn't had any real problems since then. There was a foot issue that kept him out for a while. That's about it, really, isn't it? He's only really had 1 or 2 small injuries. So they might be happy enough with that. The current striking situation, they've got a couple of Saudi players, and then they've got Marcus Leonardo, the Brazilian, who they signed from Benfica. Now, he's really good. He's a really good young player, only 22. He can play up as a 2, or he can play off a striker. I think he'd work well with Darwin. They also have Mitrovic. Now, he only went there 2 years ago and apparently isn't all that happy over there and would like to leave. But he has banged in goals. 28 and 36 last year, 40 and 43 the year before. But apparently it's him they want to replace. But Darwin could also play with him if they decided to keep all 3. I don't think it'd be an issue. But Yeah, it looks like it could be a very quick moving deal that sends Darwin to Saudi before the window closes tomorrow. If it doesn't go through in this window, I would still imagine he goes to Saudi in this summer. If we look at the other sort of mega rich clubs, you've got obviously Al Ahly. What's their striking situation? They've got Bobby, who it's known is likely to leave. They've got Galeno, who's a winger. They've got Alexander, who's more of a midfielder than a striker. They do have Ivan Toney. Darwin could definitely play in a 2 with Ivan Toney if they wanted to do that. You've got Al Ittihad, which is where Fabinho is. Their strikers, Karim Benzema. Darwin could play in a 2 with him. Moussa Diaby's a winger. Steven Bergwijn is a winger. I actually had forgotten he'd gone to Saudi. Yeah, you could see them wanting him as well. And then there's Al Nazir, which is obviously the club where Sadio is currently plying his trade. Now, they have potentially an opening coming up in their forward line because Cristiano seems to want to go. They play Cristiano and John Duran up front, so maybe Cristiano out, Darwin in, pair up the 2 South Americans and let them wreak havoc. I can't, whenever you watch both Darwin and John Duran play, you kind of get the feeling that neither of them fully knows what they're going to do next. So it will be quite something to see them play together. Yeah, I definitely think there'll be a home for him in Saudi this summer from one of those mega rich teams. Can definitely go there and play for any of them. Another who could be departing is Harvey Elliott, who admitted yesterday in an interview that, while he loves the club and all the rest, he doesn't want to be wasting years of his career because he'll turn 23 next season. It is a short career. It was sort of his way of saying he felt like this past season was a bit of a waste, in my opinion, even though ultimately it ended with him winning the Premier League. He played so little that I don't think he'll feel like he was fully involved. So yeah, I think Harvey's a near certainty to go this summer. We do have one other incoming that's confirmed, of course. And it kind of plays into the Yaros leaving side of things. Obviously, Frimpong was the first one in. Tremendous. This one kind of snuck up on everybody because it didn't seem like we were linked to him at all. But Armin Pexi, the young Hungarian goalkeeper, 20 years of age, was announced over the weekend. And I haven't heard anything to do with fee or anything like that. So I don't know if we've signed him on a free. I don't know what the situation will be. But by all accounts, he is a huge talent. He was nominated for the Golden Boy Award. He finished well down it, obviously, but still, could well be that he's our number 3 for next season. And again, he's very highly regarded. So, more good work by the club. And apparently he's one